Hello and welcome to Mini Edge Painting. Today, I have the first of what I hope to turn into a series of videos. We have partnered with Printed Obsession to bring you the Bee Queen. This model is part of their April release, so if you want it and many other awesome bee-inspired prints, go check them out in the description below. Without further ado, let's jump into the painting. We will start this paint job off with the airbrush. You don't have to use one, I just enjoy how quickly it can make these first steps. I'm using Stynylrez Black Primer for the undercoat, and then Stynylrez White Primer for a zenithal highlight. The first color that I will use is going to be Screamer Pink. This is going to undercoat the yellow that will go all over the body of the queen bee. Starting from pink is a great and easy way to get a clean and vibrant yellow. Over the pink, we'll take a golden brown color in Talaran Sand. This color is great for the shadows and does a lot of the heavy lifting for us in that regard. Now we can finally add the yellow. To do this, I'm taking some Uriel yellow and applying this from above with the airbrush. This way, the yellow will only catch on the tops of the model while leaving the Talaran Sand behind in the recesses and shadows. With that, the airbrushing is completed. The rest of the model will be completed with a normal brush. Let's give her some nice royal robes. To start this off, I'm going to use Naggaroth Night. Be extra careful not to accidentally hit any of the yellow that we just finished, as touch-ups at this point will be difficult. With the robes completed, let's get a base coat on the wings. For this, I'm using Rakarth Flesh. I'll eventually want the wings to be a tan color with some brown undertones, so this is the perfect color for that. Being very careful, I'm going to paint the eyes with some Corvus Black. This color is about as close to black as you can get, without being actual black. This helps with shading and highlighting. I'll also do the claws and stingers with this color. I'm going to move on to the halo that she has behind her. For this, I'm going to use Retributor Armor for the solid golden color that complements the yellow nicely. After washing out my paint cup, I'm going to base coat the mandibles, antenna, and the queen's hair with a Batten Black. This time, I'm going for a full black, as I want it to be slightly different from the eyes and talons. Let's get into the shading. Starting with Agrex Earthshade, I'm going to coat the wings in order to pick out those nice sculpted details. All of the talons and stingers will be shaded with Nuln Oil. This will help give them a darker recesses. I'm also going to take the same color and only shade the bottom half of the eyes. Finally, we'll shade the robes with my favorite shade, Druchii Violet. This is to help deepen the purple in the folds of the robe. Moving on to the highlights, I want to work on the robes first. So once that's dry, I'm going to sketch out some highlights with some white scar. I'm being very careful to only hit the topmost folds and pieces that would catch the most light. It looks a bit strange now, but trust me on this. It'll turn out great. I'm now going to take some more Screamer Pink and thin this down in a 1:1 concentration of water to create a glaze of sorts. I'll then take this color and apply it over the white scar, as well as partially into the folds of the robe. However, I want to leave the innermost folds as the deep purple color. This is going to add a lot of definition to these robes and really makes them pop. We can now highlight the wings. To do this, I'm going to take Pallid Witch Flesh in some streaking motions, starting from the inner folds of the wing towards the tips. We want to make sure that we don't get the paint into the recessed details that the shade picked out, so take your time with this. Up next, let's take some Dawnstone and highlight the tops of the talons and the stingers. We also want to take this same color and apply 3 small dots on the upper corners of the eyes. This'll help sell the insect vibe. The rest of the black details will be highlighted with some dark Reaper. Place this as an edge highlight to all of the corners and sharp edges that we base coated with this color. Now take some Fenrisian Gray to the highest points of the dark Reaper and the points that face the sun. Almost done here. Let's wrap up the halo behind her. To shade, we'll use some Reichland Flesh Shade. This dulls the color just a little and gives a nice base for the highlights to work from. Speaking of which, the first highlight is going to be Liberator Gold. I'm going to place this color on the top portions of the spikes and the bottom of the circle to give a natural sense of where the light would be hitting it. And to wrap up this piece, let's take some Stormhost Silver to the sharp edges of the spikes and the higher points of the circle. With these final bits, let's sit back and get ready for a grand reveal. As I said before, this video was made in collaboration with Printed Obsession. I reached out to them with the idea of a cross-promotion, and I hope to do more videos like this in the future. If you know of anyone, or would like to have your prints featured on this channel, let me know in the comments below. I would love to showcase more amazing sculptors from around this wonderful hobby. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.